Welcome back, beautiful people. Masatla Matla. We're still on Eswatini Lifestyle All Access, a special show that we decided to have and, broadcast for you around this time of the year. School meeting, when we introduced the show, our first segment of the show, and we're looking basically at the issue year lifestyle. We're looking at, what do young people think about lifestyle in its entirety, and what do the other grown-er people think about our topic today. So I'm glad to still have them on our round table today. And we still have Kwang music. Guys, we went off the break.
Yeah.
So I'm excited that we are back and still on that note, school meetings are by socioeconomic status, how it impacts, our lifestyles, because, there are those expectations out there,
Yeah.
you look and be a certain way.
You know what I'm saying? And
so
it has to happen like that, because look at me, because as you just said, that's the young people have. Can you imagine her saying that? Saying that these are the young folks.
I need to respect.
And we are the old folks, and then they're calling it respect. These young people, they're insulting us. Because trust me, I'm sure we have more fun than
us.
so-called
Really?
young people. You never know. Trust me. You never know. Yeah, it's
I'll keep the respect in Swati, and I like the fact that now I want us to look at
Nice.
our culture, Sima
Nice.
Swati.
True.
It's how does it affect or impact the way we handle ourselves or carry ourselves inside and outside the country, because there's this whole thing. I would say they behave a certain way, but
True.
should they go out or
True.
beyond those boundaries,
True.
it becomes a different story. How does a lifestyle impact the way we carry ourselves, Sima Swati, in comparison to other
Western culture.
Western
cultures.
culture, yeah. I'd say, how can I put this?
Bring it on.
I'd say, like I said that Guhamba born. I think we're all victims of circumstance. So wherever we are born into, whether you are poor or rich. I think people normally seek what they lack the most. If I'm born into a poor setup or a richer setup, when you're rich, it's only the little things that matter. When you have less, you want the world. So a lot of people, I think, influence Western culture for young people. I'll speak for young people.
Yeah.
Influence Western culture. I think it's currency right now.
Right.
Whatever's happening overseas is currency. Television being the biggest pushers of it, social media,
Yes.
Politics.
all these
Music,
other things.
yeah.
So we're drawn to the drama, the controversies,
Yeah.
and all these things that are happening that side. And then if I am a young person and I'm a musician and I look up to probably Drake, if I were to say. I look up to Drake and I start following his life.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
I wanna look
I like the way
Drake.
he dresses.
I want to dress like Drake.
Besides the
Yeah.
drama and everything.
Yeah, and it
Or
sounds like Drake.
let me not even go to far as Drake. Let me come
Yeah.
to Pastor Tate. He's looking very nice today. I'm meeting him for the first time. I'm like, Yati,
Okay.
next time I go in TV, I to dress like that.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's time to go back to church. Because, you are going to be acceptable.
So I saw him
Yeah.
and I liked it.
Yeah.
And then I'm drawn to how did he get to bring up such a good ensemble? I have to figure it out. Where does he go to go shopping?
Right.
How does he get the money? Oh, it costs this much.
Right.
What do I need to do to get the exact same amount of money to afford the exact same type of clothes he wears?
Yeah.
You'd be so amazed.
Because guys,
It's a string.
Emachoba is the
string.
thing, right? Emachoba, Emahia is the thing.
The Western part, how Drake would they dress up, the hip hop, ensemble, and Pastor Tate, dressed in a nice, clean suit.
Yeah.
But to bring an interesting one, Pastor Tate, I want to go to church. And mina nje ngiswatile emtsabu.
Yeah.
Ngifuna ukuthi ngihambe ngivunulile.
Exactly.
Ngigqoke amajobo ami ngagcukuta icatfulo ngene nje ngitive ukuthi namhla ngifuna nje kuba ngingwale ngoba
Ushaye ngumoya.
siyokhona ngishawe ngumoya. Nami ngingimake ngithi mfake isicholo sami ngigqoke amahiya ami ngihambe ngiye esonveni. Leli nangembili kumebani pastor tete.
Yes.
Yeah.
How does that work for you?
I think we've had the Eswatini, the part of the European influence, Western influence, and trying to also, because Angtibu, if you know how the gospel came about, it came about through missionaries and all that.
Yes.
So we are now living in a time where the young people are actually questioning the authenticity of the gospel because
Yeah.
and because it's not just, I mean, I always tell people, it's not just the gospel, everything. So to not just only keep it in the faith,
Yeah.
question everything. So one of the fights or discussions that deliberations were having at church is, now, people are saying we must go back to our culture. Mina I've realized bazalwane atinale culture kuthiwa sibuyele kiyo.
Yeah.
It's not back to the roots yayo.
Okay.
Siyikhetulu nana.
Okay.
So I mean before here tend mbahla here. Before
Yeah.
bekugcokwana. You understand what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
I'm
That's
not
deep.
I'm not
Yeah.
dissing
That's deep.
what they are bringing to the fore now, but I'm saying konakala lokuningi.
Oh, yes.
And now you are blaming people because they are not sticking to their culture. Even the culture, it's not well defined. It's
Yeah.
not.
Sure.
It's not out there.
Yeah.
Sakula tikolweni. These things should have been taught there. What we were taught was just the language, not the
Yeah.
culture.
True.
There should have been activities that take us to the culture.
Okay.
Then I will associate or I will relate with the culture.
Right.
I'm in a church where my subordinate pastor Emmanuel Dlamini, uyavunula nakayesondela.
Okay.
Okay.
Uyalicoba Emmanuel nakayesondela.
Yes.
Wow.
Mina ngiqhamuka ngifake amacici. We are representing the present society yakangwane.
Yeah.
Leseyihlangene. Uyabona? But one thing lenkhala ngayo, the custodians of culture are not doing enough to bring the culture there.
But who is a custodian of culture, Pastor Tete?
Angathi.
Aren't you
We
a
all
custodian
are.
of culture?
We all are.
Not feel like when
Yeah,
don't you
we
think
all
we
are.
all
No, but
probably are
nangathi mina
a
ngirong.
custodian of
Chothi
culture?
kholo what you got it right culture
Yeah.
na kanjani.
Yeah. So that
If you're
person
going to
should
say
take
to
the
me the
responsibility.
way I'm bringing it,
Tell us how to do it.
yes.
Yeah.
So then
Who
let's
are
go.
those people and where do we find them then, Pastor Tete?
Hey.
Where do we find those people? Because our kids need to know about these things.
Yeah.
But then I believe if we're really about conserving culture, we should kwanana nathi spend time and finding out what is our identity in issues of culture. Do we understand that culture by its nature is dynamic? Because nalokunye we should understand tradition and then the culture and tradition. Nalapho futhi esibuka ukuthi kushada njani.
Because there is a confusion
Yeah.
there.
That's that
Yeah.
thin
Now,
line.
I guess I'm going to take a random example.
Okay.
Kune fridge, kune microwave, kune yini lenye?
Toaster.
Kune toast. Amagama kweSiswati.
What is a phrase?
We are giving these
Wow.
I
things.
hear
These
you.
things are
Eat
part
toaster.
of our
Yeah, everyday
Your
lives.
children are growing with these things. Like good ziwo, good letimvo bontinjujo, letimvo ekungenda ukuthi umuntu angathi okay. Even cutlery ngayibita ngeSiswati. Do you understand?
Yeah.
So we are embracing Western influence. We are trying to hold on to our culture.
Yeah.
Maybe we need to find a way of how we can do both.
How to
Yeah,
kill our
correlate.
people? Yes.
Make them correlate.
Maybe we need to sit down funel gama le fridge yesiswati.
Yes.
Yeah.
Funel gama le toaster lesiswati.
Yes.
Because these are the things which will then maybe make bamvla basha, but okay, now I'm relating with my culture. Ngiyalokude.
Exactly.
But on that note, yokuthi kufuna sihlale phansi sifune ligama.
Le fridge.
Le fridge, le toaster, lani, you
Le
can name them.
microwave.
You know, why not just, do away with all these things and just stick to what we,
Are
What
you
do you mean
ready
by
to
that?
go
because,
back and
no, okay, it's just an idea. It's just an idea. Ngaloko ukuthi uma ukhuluma nge-microwave nje, i-microwave siyathi ukuthi it has the pros and cons of
Yes.
using it. Bayagula abantu baguliswe ama-microwaves, right? So I'm
Like
thinking
a
to
cell
myself,
phone
I'm thinking
does
to
have its
myself,
pros
why
and
not just
cons.
cook food? Even though I'm getting to a
But
different
you know what I'm
direction,
saying?
but
Then
why not
it
just cook
brings
food
us-
and eat it there and there?
Look, Peter, it brings us to what we are discussing.
Uh-huh.
Eswatini culture and Western culture. And the people that we are today, we just don't have the time.
Exactly.
We are doing one too many things. You're a pastor, an artist.
Yeah.
You need to be doing music all at the same time. That all has to happen in 24 hours. Just like you said, Gwandile, at the beginning of our conversation, in our roundtable, was that, look, you wake up, you only have 24 hours. You need to think about, how am I going to push, my side hustle,
And this is
my
how
hot dog business.
This is how
I'm a
the
barber
Western
and a
culture.
musician.
This is how it comes in. So I believe that Western culture is meant to, everything is instant. They sell instant everything,
pace,
instant
it's
noodles
fast.
now. There's
Yes,
instant
2
pap,
minutes.
there's all these things,
You
too
know
many
what I'm
things,
saying?
so that
Yeah.
you can go about your day
Exactly.
quicker.
To try and achieve all of that, in the 24-hour
Exactly. Because if
bracket.
you want to go back to traditions, these
First
things,
thing I am 17,
you understand that kuvunula takes time.
yeah,
Don't just dress up and you're out of the house. It doesn't happen that
but
way.
ke bebakhona kukwenda kadzeni, but daddy bags nabokhokho
I like
bethu
that.
ngalo ukuthi lemfo beyinindlela yokukwenda and bebavukela ekseni
Bekunesikhathi
but
sako.
kunesikhathi sako, so bekubamhle pate ukuthi mangivuka ekseni ngivuswa inyoni le ukuthi nyapho isikhathi sami singihambe ngiyolima ngifike masimini lapho ngomangoketa inkomo ilanga lisengakaphumi, because by the time the sun comes out and
You're
it's bright and
done.
frustrating,
Yeah.
you're done with the hard labor of kuhamba ukuthi soyo ukhoketa inkomo takho.
Because I feel like
So
as
there
long
was time, so things were there, so yakhona kupheka ngelidziwo ngaphandle,
Yeah.
little pots. It's
know.
simmering. You got the whole day,
The Western
But
culture
I-
introduced in my microwave.
Yes.
So I
don't
feel
do
like
that anymore.
I feel like as long as
and
we
with
still need
choices.
lama microwave, staba nayo le nkinga there.
So lidziwo utalisebenzisa
boy.
nini nyalo?
But guys, there's
all
this
have
part
homework,
engingafisa
though.
ukuthi siyibuke, because what fed into our culture was how it was. The kuthi mantombazane bekabitelwa in a certain place, the boys were called in a certain place,
Yeah.
and they were taught issues of life.
Yeah.
So when civilization came, the first thing that it did, it took bomalume bobabe yabafaka emsebenzini bomake basane bantwana.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that has been the consequences of that has been unfolding with
Oh,
the years and
Pastor
with the
well
times.
said.
Yabo.
Well
So
said.
we cannot reverse
Yes.
back to
Yes.
that, but I believe we are not employing the technology lesinayo nyana to rekindle noma to kuyawulanza le timbo
revive,
letasilahlekele.
yeah.
Asikhona, we have enough
Outbound.
to bring these things back now. I guess I go back Sally. If you have a child who's got a phone and on the phone he's always on social media and all that,
Tell
why
me
don't
about it.
why don't we have sites, places where these young people can visit and reconnect with their culture? Good talent. I'm speaking from a church point of view.
Yeah.
You find Guti, we tell people what not to do,
Yeah.
but never then bring what they can do.
They can do.
You cannot box a person just by saying don't,
Yeah.
because by nature umuntu ufuna kwenda more than
Of course. Yes.
so now, if we are about diluting the influence of Western culture,
times and culture.
we need to invest in our culture, why not? Which is not happening now. Like
I
I'm going,
agree
the
with
thing
you.
we're doing, Stouting Mhlanga, Stouting Segwana, Stouting Gwala, and these are just the things we best to now when that dona.
Yeah.
So
You're
so-
done.
but
Yes.
kadzeni bengiliswati ekhaya ngivuke ekseni bengiliswati ngiyolusa all these things did not wait for a certain event, a national event to happen. It was a lifestyle.
It was a daily
It's true,
living
because
kind of
I
thing.
feel the same way, because even myself at times, I would attend emagan, because emagan, masamba, with the ladies from work. You know how I feel when I was masengivunulile, ngifake isicholo sami, and all of that. For that weekend, I feel like a true
Swazi
Swati woman. You know what I'm saying? I feel it that weekend. And then I go back to, my everyday life. It's this girl in the heels and the red dress speaking English, you know, which unfortunately is what's happening in our homes, Pastor Tete, guys. And we all have work to do, I believe. We need to do the work. We need to introduce these things ebuntwini bethu simaSwati. ukuthi la magama nje besikhuluma ngoba definitely they're not going anywhere.
Yeah.
Labo microwave,
Yeah.
nabo fridge,
Yeah.
we need them because impilo seyilapho. Nalabo make labo bakhona kuhlala ekhaya bapheke sebasemsebentini nabo babe. So that is why we are this fast-paced generation, which now leans more onto the what? The Western
To take
side
over,
of life,
yeah.
you know, and culture. So I think we are gonna have that headache, guys.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Because
But
looking
something
at
needs to be done, that's for sure.
looking at Western culture like we are / foreign culture, because I don't want to say Western belungu
Kuphela,
phela, because
yeah.
we're looking at Eswatini culture versus
True,
other
true.
cultures. It's funny because you mentioned something like usebganwini webganwini uvundlile umanti if
Yeah.
uphelele as a woman or a Swazi wife, and the next day it's a Monday, you need to go back to work. You're on
corporate
hills,
world. Yeah.
But the funny thing is, umlungu, okay, angathi umlungu because ngiyalo sengiya class. So in other cultures, ukhanza ukuthi yena lama heels and the nice dresses, it's their daily life thing, So it's in emaswati akusiko kudiyenga yini ukuthi when living this multiple, lifestyles, styles, let me put it like that. Asidiyengi in emaswati. Is it possible to stick to something or create something that we could just,
Can I just
put
pitch in
ourselves
lapho?
on the map? Yeah.
Can I just pitch in lapho? Now unganaka kahle nyalo. The way people are doing the traditional weddings,
Okay.
it's different. They are now playing the
Yeah.
floor,
Oh,
they're playing the
yes.
playing and
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah.
They've by land.
Yeah.
By yenda, by humusha ngale.
Personalize.
Yeah, by personalize ngendlela yabo.
Yeah.
You know, kuba nabo theme here ukuthi sigqoka kanje
exactly.
sithunga kanje and all
Hey.
that. And I
The
don't want to
spread.
lie, when they begin lokugida and all that, you do connect ukuthi yathi mama, this is where we are from.
Yeah.
Ngithini ke ngithi mina, maybe we don't need to actually say away with
Okay.
what we've been presented.
Yeah.
But how do we incorporate these
Exactly.
To our
to
own.
who we are?
Yeah.
Because
True.
that's the only way your child will know. Even noma ngase kungile diluted dosage
yeah,
yawo,
yeah.
but utawati ukuthi I'm not all what I see on TV. There is part of me which needs to be there.
Yeah.
And maybe with time, we'll get people who will be deliberate in flooding social media and the digital space with our culture.
Yeah.
One will have to vele ukuthi I'm investing in this. Maybe
But-
my 2 cents now would
It
go that far.
it is a challenging, it's an interesting topic and a very important one as well. Honestly speaking, speaking from a place where I am a mom, I have kids, grown kids to some extent. And when I'm at home, being that parent, playing that parent role, what am I feeding my children? I'm really starting to think about it really hard now, and I do have an ounce of guilt because most of the time I speak English. So my kids, they speak a lot of English.
Yeah.
And then not so long ago, Siswati Sunday was compulsory in schools. So now they are all doing it across the board. They have to speak the language. And I have to help this child do her homework. Oh, his homework in Siswati
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
And here comes mommy
Uhlahlele
with
nomfethu.
good English and French.
Yeah.
And je suis parle français. Yeah,
Oui,
I
oui.
do. I do speak a little French, and here I am, and now I have to do this. So I guess it's very important for me to change, and I'm pledging right now
Yeah.
that let's be proud because now we are no longer proud of speaking this language.
Who we are.
Lele singithi asisasiko proud it's just a secondary reaction or thing lesikwendako even how we are bringing up these kids, the technology. Our kids are on social media from a young age. Even the schools are encouraging it. You need to have a certain gadget for you to be able
Yeah.
to be in this class because you're doing IT. So you know what I'm saying? So we are dealing with those issues. So it's Western culture, This is culture yethu simaSwati. It's an interesting topic, y'all. Please don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.